Hello, gentle people. I am so happy to be here with you again. And last week I had a conference for work for my day job, so that kind of threw off my video schedule a bit, but I am back with you today. And actually during the conference I was still reading The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and it hit me that I could kind of work through the 12 weeks on the channel. So this week, today, I'm going to actually talk with you about basically the precursor to the different chapters. Each section is broken down into 12 weeks, and just a reminder, The Artist's Way is a book about a process of creative rediscovery. So it breaks down that process into 12 different weeks with all these different activities. So I am going to work through the 12 weeks, and I hope you join me for the journey. So I made some notes. If you've watched any of the videos before, one of the things that I've spoken about is morning pages, and morning pages are one of the two critical components of the Artist's Way. So one is morning pages and the other one is the Artist's Date, and I actually did a video about morning pages, so you can check it out in the description box below. But just to give you a little description on morning pages, in order to retrieve your creativity, you have to find it first, right? So morning pages are a way of unearthing all the stuff that is going on in your head and basically clearing a space. So it doesn't matter how petty, how upset, how silly, how stupid, doesn't matter what you write in your morning pages. It is 3 pages longhand every morning, and Julia Cameron recommends as long as the paper is like 8.5 by 11, those are the dimensions that you're working with. So it's just longhand every morning, and I keep my journal by the side of my bed for the most part. So as soon as I wake up in the morning, I literally just roll over and start writing, just to get it out of the way. Like it says, morning pages to be done in the morning before you get the day started and you're on your way. They're done and you've pretty much dumped all that stuff that was going on in your head. So what Julia Cameron also says is that it's the act of simply moving your hand across the paper, and whatever comes out, just let it. So in the back of our head, sometimes we have this little sensor, right? It's like our little left brain going, what are you doing? Maybe you should be doing something else. Like, making all this noise in the back of our head. And what the morning pages does is, you're literally telling left brain, take a seat, relax, chill out, drink some tea. Let me dump all this stuff so that, you can give the creativity some space, some room to breathe, an opportunity to kind of flow through. So the morning pages are the primary tool of the Artist's Way. They're non-negotiable. Whatever your mood is, it does not matter. So I was having a conversation with my son the other day, and it had something to do with him and his videos. And he was supposed to do a video because he has like this schedule that he does his videos, and he was really in the mood, and we had to have the conversation about, it doesn't matter if you're in the mood or not. This is what you've committed to, so this is what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. And sometimes just a very act of, moving around and starting the process, you're like, okay, you're done and it's over with before you even thought about it. So it does take a certain amount of discipline. Again, the morning pages are non-negotiable because they're the primary tool of this whole process of creative recovery. And what it basically does, tells you, or it makes you understand that it's not about judging things, it's just about showing up and doing the work. That's it. So it's not a matter of, is this good or is this bad? You just show up, right? Pick up the pen, 3 pages every morning. So what the morning pages does is it helps us to get to the other side of our negativity, right? Once you've kind of dumped all of it out on the page, and I'm not saying that every single time it's going to be something negative, not necessarily, but what it does is it allows you to push through all the stuff that's there kind of clouding up your mind. And for me, it's weird, right? Because on one hand, if you think left brain, I'm a lawyer, and then on the other hand, I'm also an artist. So I have this constant struggle between the two sides, because left brain is like, okay, you know, we need to do this and this needs to happen this way, and then right brain is like, woohoo, free, yay, woo. So again, it's like this constant struggle between right and left for me, and it's all about trying to find my way down the middle in terms of balance. All right, so the morning pages helps you to do that. And basically it teaches your right brain, like I said, to sit down and chill. Like, not your right brain, sorry, your left brain. Sit down and chill, take a chill pill, just let me get out my stuff. All right. And then another way to look at it too is as a form of meditation. And I actually started meditating when I was in law school, and it was a way for me to kind of help manage the stress. As you can imagine, a very stressful situation. So it's very hard a lot of times for people from the West to meditate, the whole concept of sitting still and breathing and focusing on the breath. So what you can look at the morning pages of is a form of meditation. It's like a movement. So that's why you're not doing it on the computer, you're not doing it on the telephone, you're like literally moving your hand across the page as you write. So it's kind of a form of meditation for Westerners. And then it's practically impossible to do them for a certain amount of time without coming to some kind of realization, without hearing that kind of still small voice in you going, all right, you know, maybe you could look at things this way, or maybe this is the direction that you need to go in. Trust me when I tell you, commit to doing these morning pages and you will see how much of a huge difference it makes in your life. And this is coming from personal experience, because doing morning pages has really opened up some space just in my whole psyche and really made a difference in terms of, you know, just my creativity and the direction that I'm moving in. So morning page is absolutely critical. Some of you you have a specific intention as far as your art is concerned. And I know you see all of this stuff around me, and I'm not just talking to fine artists, to visual artists. So whether you're a musician or a playwright or a baker or a dressmaker, doesn't matter. It's pretty much the same thing in terms of creativity. So you might find, oh, you know, that you're a baker and you start doing morning pages, and then something else comes up. You're like, oh, I feel like painting. Or you're a writer and you're like, maybe, you know, I could do some music. So just give yourself the space and the time. The second thing with the artist way is the artist date. This is the other critical component. And the thing with the artist date is it's something that you have to do by yourself. So you can't have nobody with you. It is just you and you alone. What you do every week is, at least one time a week, you take the time to go and do something for yourself. Do something that makes you happy. So for me, sometimes that means just literally going to Michael's and looking in the clearance section. That makes me very happy, all right? Or going to Joann Fabrics and looking at the fabric. I mean, whatever it is that brings you joy, whatever it is that makes you happy. And it doesn't have to be anything complicated, doesn't have to be anything that takes a long time. Another thing that I love doing is going to the park and taking a walk. It makes me so happy just to be in nature. So it doesn't matter, whatever it is, if it is something that, you know, you don't even realize the time and it's something that makes you feel so good, give yourself the time to do that. Because when you make a time commitment to something, that commitment is sacred. And when you give something or someone your full attention, that's a sacred commitment that you're making to that person. So you can do that for yourself as well. It's not just about other people. Don't feel selfish. Don't feel no way about it. Take some time for yourself. All right. So creativity, it needs time and it needs care. You need to nourish yourself. You need to take care of yourself, because it's not going to come up in a space that is constricted and frustrated. It is okay to take care of yourself. So like I said, it doesn't matter if it means you have 10 minutes in a day to do something that makes you happy. I think that you're absolutely and totally worth those 10 minutes, right? The next thing is creativity has a lot to do it's not just words, right? It's very sensory. So you're seeing, you're touching, you're smelling. So find things that give you the opportunity to utilize all of your senses besides the words. We're so inundated with words on a daily basis, whether it's text message or you're reading something or you dip on Twitter or whatever the case is. Give yourself the opportunity and the space to do some things that are sensory, right? And then for your morning pages, oh, stick a pen. Get a notebook for your morning pages, a nice little notebook, and think of it in terms of, like I said, meditation. You're doing it for yourself. It is only going to help you. I kid you not. I wouldn't tell you this if I didn't try it and it didn't work myself. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. And I wanted to share this quote with you before I left. And it's by my absolutely favorite poet, Rumi. And Rumi says, inside you, there's an artist you don't know about. Say yes quickly if you know, if you've known it from before the beginning of the universe. So I'm here to tell you, whether you know it or you don't know it, you are an artist and you're creative, and just give yourself a chance. All right. So thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your presence as usual. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. Peace.